I'm Michael O'Leary and I watch All About Sport on Cavan TV. So should you.
Hello and welcome to All About Sport, coming to you from the Cavan Crystal Studios here in Cavan Town. I'm Louise O'Reilly. Joining me on tonight's show is Tyrone, Kearns, PR officer with the Cavan Archers Club, all coming up later. But first up, Irish under-17 footballer Leanne Kiernan joins me in the studio. So Leanne, thank you very much for joining me on All About Sport. You're very welcome. You are running up the road to go training with your team tonight, the Shelbourne FC, but tell us a little bit about yourself, Leanne. You're from Ballyborough.
Yeah, I played soccer for a good few years now. I play with Shelbourne FC under 18 girls and I love it. It's great, yeah.
And you're from Ballyborough and you're only 16.
Yeah.
So you've been playing football for a very long time, since you were, in school, and you've kind of made your way up the ranks. So tell us about one of your first teams you played soccer with.
I started off with Ballyborough Celtic. It was the boys' team, so it's kind of like the only girl on it. And then I went to Kingscourt. And then I moved on to the Dublin team, the girls' team then.
Brilliant. And then from that, so you were playing with the Ballyborough Celtic, then Kingscourt Harps, and then that led on, you were saying, to the Ulster schools team. So obviously the elite and the best from around Ulster are playing on the schools team.
Yeah.
So that was a great platform for you.
Yeah, it was good. My teacher brought me up once a week every Tuesday. A few girls went up with me from the school. And we qualified and got onto the Ulster team, and then we went into a tournament, which we done well in. And then we got the call up from Ireland, so I was happy with that.
That was brilliant. And so you started playing with the representing Ireland in under 15, so very, very young age to be representing your country at.
Yeah, it was very exciting now.
I'm sure your family were very proud of you. It must have been an exciting time for everybody.
Yeah, bit of a shock,
yeah.
But I was happy.
I suppose you'd never be thinking, gosh, this could lead to playing with my, for my country and representing my country.
Yeah, definitely not, especially coming from such a small place and not really knowing that well.
Exactly. And I suppose coming from a county like Cavan, it's not exactly maybe a sport that you would have, I suppose, so much in schools and stuff. There's probably a lot more Gaelic football and the Gaelic games. So, and what about the boys on the team when you're playing in Ballyborough? They must be quite jealous now, knowing that you're playing for Ireland.
I don't know about that now.
Have you got to meet any of the Irish football team at all, or do you get to mix with them at all?
The hotel that we were staying in when we were in for a training camp, I met Shane Long.
Oh wow!
So I was very happy with that.
Yeah, and you would say, hi, I play for Ireland, and he'd be like, me too, which is great. But more recently, you're playing now for the under-17s, and you headed off to Turkey, and you were playing in the European qualifiers. Tell us, how did that go?
Great, yeah. We played Ukraine in our first game, and we won 3-0. Then our second game was Andorra. We beat them 7-0. And our third game was Turkey, and we also beat them 3-0, so we didn't concede a goal, and I was happy to score 2 goals myself. So.
Wow, so you are the striker?
No, I'm the left winger.
You're the left winger, so obviously you're a very key player on the team, going by them scores. Did you tell Shane Long that you'd scored 2 goals? But hopefully if he's watching this now, he'll be getting on to you. And so you've now qualified, and you are going to be playing your next game in March. Who's that against?
We're playing in France against France, Hungary and Czech Republic.
Brilliant.
And we have to top that group now to get into the finals in Belarus. That's been placed. So hopefully.
Okay. And how successful has the Irish ladies team been up until this point?
They got into the finals last year, so.
Yeah. So they've been doing quite well, yeah. So really you'd hope that maybe you'll have a win on your side this year coming, which is great. So you were telling me that with you're a striker with Shelbourne Football Club.
Yeah.
So you're heading off up to train with them tonight. Tell us how you got involved with that particular club, and they're a Dublin base as well.
See, when you get to a certain age, you can't play with boys anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to move to a girls' club, and they were the only one that was kind of the main club, so I decided I'd go up there and train.
Great. And obviously your mum and dad must be very supportive. I'm sure they are busy bringing you up and down for training every week. So how many times a week do you train with Shelburne?
3 times a week, yeah.
And what about when games are coming up with the Irish team? How often do you have to, hook up with all of the squad?
Well, we just go in maybe once a month and kind of mix.
Yeah. Get
used to the girls and have a wee training session and just kind of set plays, but we're mostly have our fitness from our club training.
Great, so. Yeah. So that keeps it up. And then obviously you're playing with girls then from all around Ireland, from all the various clubs around Ireland. So would you say you've met some good lifelong friends? Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And so for you, you're saying you're training 3 times a week, so you must have a great level of fitness. Do you enjoy, keeping fit anyway?
Yeah, I love keeping fit.
Yeah.
It's great and just good to be out in the fresh air when you're in school the whole time, I suppose.
How do you kind of juggle, because what year are you in school?
5th.
So how do you juggle school and playing for Ireland and representing Ireland?
Well, I usually just...
You're able to balance both?
Yeah, I'd be doing my homework up in the car and that, but sure.
Yeah.
Has to be done.
That's tough, exactly. I mean, it's something you'd like to kind of have something to fall back on at the end of the day. So you have then been playing from under 15s, under 17s, and then what's then next for the Irish team? I mean, do you move up the ranks then?
What's next for you? Under 19s, so hopefully I'll get a trial for that next year and do well.
Brilliant. So who's at your trainer and management team at the moment with the Ireland team?
Dave Bell and Laura Cusack is the assistant manager.
Great, okay. So for you, what is like the best part about representing Ireland and playing for the Irish team?
Just the thrill of wearing your jersey and going out and trying to do your family and everything proud.
Which is great. Well, we have some photographs of you in action and in your jersey. So this is the first one's up here, Leanne. You can just tell us this is obviously your number 18. Is that your usual?
Yeah, that's my squad number.
Your squad number. So that's you there with so this is with some of the girls, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we actually had another girl from Bulturbet, Brona Sheridan. I think she might have played. Maybe the older teams, but she's represented Ireland as well. Fantastic. So whereabouts was this game? It's hard to tell. Could be Ireland, is it? Or your training one, is it? But so that's most of the squad there, and referees and so on. Brilliant. So so you come from a very sporting family. I know you're big into motorsports as well. Have you any interest in motorsports?
Not that much now, but...
Do you like the thrill of being in the car?
Yeah.
The speed?
I've been with him a few times in it and it's good, but a bit scary, I suppose.
Yeah. And you were saying that football it's not something you want to pursue. You've got other aspirations that you'd like to do when you kind of finish school.
Yeah, I'd love to be a pig farmer now when I get older.
Wow. That's like a very interesting thing for a young girl to say she'd like to do that. But there's a lot more to it. What is your family into pig farming or anything like that, or is it just something?
Yeah, my dad's family is very big into pig farming, and all his brothers and his sister as well, so it's a big thing. Okay, so you're probably busy helping them out and getting first-hand experience. Yeah, which is great. Well, Leanne, it's been brilliant speaking to you, and what a talented girl, and you're very modest, for 16, but you've got a great career ahead of you. And really enjoy this time playing with the Irish team, because you look back in years to come and it'll probably be one of those golden times you'll say, wow, I can't believe I did that. But enjoy all the opportunities that comes with such a great status. But thank you so much for joining us on All About Sport, and good luck with your training tonight. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. So thank you very much to Leanne Kiernan for joining me in studio. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with my next guest, Tyrone Kearns.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our one wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. energetic, you can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club. Or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands.
Hello, and you're very welcome back to the show. I am now joined by the PRO for the Cavan Archers, Tyrone Kearns. Tyrone, thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
Not a problem.
How are you keeping?
Pretty good.
Good. Well, you're PRO with the Cavan Archers, which is in existence since August 2014. Tell us a little bit about the club and where you're based.
Well, when we first started back in August of 2014, we had been located out in Virginia Showgrounds. And it basically started out because there was a group of like 5 or so archers from various other clubs locally who had wanted somewhere a bit closer to home to go train. Mm-hmm. So they decided to get together and form a club themselves, and so they didn't have to travel so far. Yeah. And that has now grown to be in around 50, 60 so members.
Wow, very huge membership.
Yeah. And
so very popular.
Around June or July of this year, we moved up to Kearns to the GA grounds up there.
Great.
Because we can have the targets outdoors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year round. Although at this point in the year, we would be mainly based inside in the hall. This is indoor season at the moment.
Which is perfect. So you have the space and the facilities in Kearns, which is perfect. So tell us a little bit about your own previous experience in archery.
Well, up until I joined the club, I never even held a bow before.
Okay, so what kind of drew you to wanting to kind of get involved in it?
Well, it was partially to get out and start doing something a bit more physically active and gain a new skill. Yeah. So I thought, why not?
It is quite a skillful sport, and what kind of skills in particular, is key for playing archery?
Well, it would probably be primarily accuracy. That's the most important.
So it's your hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
what about the eyesight?
It develops quite a few skills. You become more focused. You end up being more balanced. You gain more stability. It works the core stability.
Yeah.
There's so much that is involved in it, and it develops over time. The more you train, the stronger you get and the better you get.
Yeah, and since you've kind of started with the club, do you yourself find that you've was it a slow progression, or did you feel like you picked it up quite quickly? Is it something you can pick up quite quickly and progress?
It would be something that can be picked up quite quickly. I probably progressed a little too quickly because normally you're supposed to progress in poundage with the bow, about 2 pounds per time.
Okay.
I jumped from 18 pounds, which is one of the beginner bows, to a 28 pounds.
Okay, so you're going to have to break that down for me. So, what does that mean exactly?
It's the draw weight. It's the amount of weight that you're pulling back with the bow to send the arrow forward. And the higher the poundage of the bow, the further distance you can reach.
Okay, right. So for different beginners, more advanced archers, do you stand a certain distance away from the actual point of...
Well, beginners usually start between 6 meters and 10 meters, and with the indoor distance it goes up to 18 meters, and that's the maximum you're going to get indoors.
Okay.
Now on the outdoor season you would be shooting 30 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 50 meters, anything up to 90 meters.
Okay, so your actual target is it from, is it colour graded? And
it is, yeah.
Wherever you hit it, whatever point you gain points, is it?
Yeah.
So when you go now to training tonight, is it your own personal target you're trying to beat, or are you, targeted against maybe others that are on the same, distance as yourself, or strength of
with the indoor season, we have, it's a different sort of targeting set up for the indoor season. It's stripped targets of 3 spots, and everyone basically has their own 3-spot target.
Yeah.
So, but on the bigger targets, which would be outdoors and stuff, yeah, it generally would be everyone on the same target, or 2 or 3 on per target.
Which is great. So you get together quite often. So tell us a little bit about training and how many times a week the Cavan Archers get together.
Yeah. Well, we get together Wednesday evenings from about 7 o'clock up to about 10, and on Saturday mornings from 10 o'clock to about 12-ish.
Okay, so quite many opportunities for people to get involved. And if people want to become members, you know, is it a drop-in fee, or do you have a membership fee, or if they are interested, who do they need to contact?
Well, to become a member, you would obviously have to do a beginner's course, and we do run those quite regularly throughout the year.
Okay.
And it's works out about €75 for a beginner's course, which lasts about 6 weeks. And we actually are running another beginner's course in January. And if anyone wants to get involved in that, just email to beginners@cavanarchers.ie.
Okay, so beginners@cavanarchers.ie. Might be a nice Christmas present for somebody. Who knows? Somebody's looking to try something new and pick up something new.
Exactly.
Obviously, it's it's enjoyable, and there's lots of men and women both go. So, what's it like there on a typical Wednesday night?
Generally on the Wednesday night, it varies depending on who turns up, really. But if there's a competition coming up within a week or two, it's usually a lot of people turn up because they want to prepare for the competition, and the only way to do that is to get in and do a bit of training. Yeah.
So there is opportunities for competitions within the sport. Have you yourself said you've done one competition so far? Yeah. What was that like, or where was that on?
That was the Irish Indoor National Championships, and that was held down in Dundalk.
Oh right, okay.
In D-Kit, which was fun.
So was it challenging?
Yes. And I probably could have done better than I actually did.
So are you going to set yourself like a goal for the next time you go?
Yeah.
You're definitely
do better.
Do better. Practice more. And you said also that there is junior members there, and you have a child protection officer in the club. So tell us a bit more about that. I suppose if the kids are interested in getting involved.
Well, at the minute we don't have a huge amount of junior members. Well, we've a fair few, but they don't all show up at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have the child protection officer who basically makes sure that they're well looked after and no one's bullying anyone or anything.
Which is great, and obviously safety is a huge part of the sport because you can't get hurt.
Safety is one of the biggest things that we teach in the beginners courses. It's the number one priority of what we teach.
And is there any particular protective gear that you have to wear?
Well, yeah. There's only one bit of protective gear that is required if you're a compound shooter, which is using the more technical bows, which I won't get into.
Yeah.
However, if you're just doing the Olympic recurve style, it's a chest guard, which, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed, depends on what side it goes. And all it does is it keeps your clothes away from the string. It won't get caught in the string. And all archers generally have to wear an arm guard, which protects their arm from getting hit.
Okay, nice.
Which I can tell you from experience, it's not fun.
You don't want to, that doesn't sound great. We do have some photos. We're just going to pop them up on your screen now, and Tyrone, you'll talk us through them, and here we go. So where is this?
That was the first training session we had whenever we first got set up in Kearns.
Okay, so the equipment, see from this picture, talk us through the equipment that everybody needs. So,
well,
the stands.
The ones that are with the stands with the scopes on them, they tend to be shooting the 70 metres, 90 metres distance, and the reason for the scopes is so they can see roughly where they're hitting.
Okay.
Because obviously you can't fire an arrow and go straight up and see where you hit. You have to wait for everyone to finish shooting before you can approach the target. Okay,
right. So and then that's a kind of more of an up close.
Yeah, and that's one of the compound bows I was referring to.
Okay, so he has. So beside that, is that a scope so you can see where, and he checks it out, his target, and then when he looks away from it, then it's obviously has a very good I suppose, hand-eye coordination there. So you've got the belt with the different various bows. He's got the ones with the weight. Is it hanging off that one there?
No, that's his arrows hanging hanging from the belt.
So he can... How many shots could you take? Like, do you get one and then you have to wait for someone else, or how does it...
Indoors it's 3 arrows per round, and outdoors is 6.
Okay. So this is the actual targets here. So what's the different point system with the colours?
From the out, basically there's each ring has 2 bands, as you can see on the black one. The black one's easy to see, that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, every band has the 2, and there's like 1 point increase all the way to the centre. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in the middle there's the 9 and 10.
No, okay, so obviously you want to be getting the bigger. The middle is where everyone wants to get. Like bullseye, I suppose, the more than darts, it's the one you want to get. So these are bigger than the previous photographs. Yeah. So is there different names on them?
Those are the recurve bows, the Olympic style recurve. Okay,
so that's right, actually. You did mention that this is Olympic style archery. So if we're watching the Olympics, this is what we will see. So, I know we've a couple of kids there obviously getting involved.
And that's actually me pulling the arrows from the target.
Which is probably a hard one as a task. So you've just...
It's not really.
And these are made up by the club themselves, the actual targets, are they? Or
no,
the particular ones you buy?
They're bought foam targets.
Okay. So if people want to get involved and they want to join...
That was whenever we were at the Crossdowney County Fair doing a have-a-go session.
Oh, right, okay. So on people can have a go. Again, if you want to get involved, is the equipment expensive? Can people come? Is there equipment there they can use without having to kind of jump in and buy everything?
We do have beginner's bows and beginner equipment, and up until they get their own gear, unless we have a beginner's course running, they can continue to use the bows after they finish the course.
Oh, which is great, yeah. Brilliant. So if you would just like, I suppose, if anyone is interested in membership, again, they need to do a beginner's course, and that's one of the main procedures. And if they want to get in touch with the Cavan Archers, Tyrone, just let our viewers at home know so you can speak to this camera there in front of you.
Yeah, if you want to do the beginners course or get information about beginners course, email beginners@cavanarchers.ie. Or for information, it's info@cavanarchers.ie.
Brilliant. Excellent. And Tyrone, you're Manchester originally.
Yeah.
And then moved to Tyrone from Tyrone, Dublin, and now you're based in Cavan. So you've been around a lot. But tell us, you've a little secret, and if we've any Game of Thrones fans out there, I bet they'd love to know that you've...
I have done a bit in it in the past, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been involved... as well as the extras, and probably done some of your archery or anything like that?
Unfortunately, not yet.
No, not yet, but who knows?
Hopefully someday that might play a role somewhere.
Brilliant, so a great experience. Yeah, being on set. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great fun.
So Tyrone, thank you very much for joining us in studio tonight and for joining me on All About Sport. It's been great getting to know more about archery, and I really hope that the club goes from strength to strength. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So thank you very much to my guests tonight, Tyrone Kearns and Leanne Kiernan. I'll be back again at the same time next Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. And if you'd like your sport featured on the show, simply contact drummermedia@gmail.com. You can tweet me at Cavan TV Sport, or you can get me on my Facebook page, Louise O'Reilly. So it's goodbye from me.